frankly, like, I'm trying not to cry right now because my anxiety is so high. If you're going through it, you're not alone. As I'm being brave in my life today with this anxiety and c-ptsd, I'm going to encourage you to be brave. Hello everyone, I'm Kelly. This is my channel, Incredible Anyway, where I talk about how to live an incredible life no matter what your circumstances are. Today I have a lot of anxiety going through me. I have a lot of anxiety. It's irrational anxiety, but anxiety about talking on the phone. I have for a very long time, and it's only gotten worse. And it's only gotten worse with my c-ptsd. And so I have been making a lot of phone calls today, so my heart is racing. I'm really proud of myself for doing it, but it's still hard to do. My goal for today is twofold. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to both. We'll see how I am when I get in the car and start driving. I have been needing to switch to a therapist that works in c-ptsd. I was referred to a specific therapist, and I called to schedule an appointment back in the summer. And they said, well, you have to come in to fill out paperwork before we'll schedule you. If you don't know, watch my health update. But basically, like, my meniere's hit, and it's been crazy since then. So I am gonna go get in the car and go to this place and fill out paperwork and finally get a therapist that specializes in treating patients who have trauma. I have had another therapist, unfortunately, not so great with trauma. In fact, I think that sometimes she was actually harmful for me. I'm really anxious to get this done, and then after I do that, I'm going to kind of evaluate, like, how am I feeling physically. But my plan would be to go to the public library locally. I don't have a library card. It's something I was wanting to do this summer and haven't been able to do. Now that I am writing a book, I want access to lots of other reference books and just books in general. I just need to get a library card. That's really my goal. Doing a lot of things that, frankly, like, I'm trying not to cry right now because my anxiety is so high. But I'm gonna do it, and I know how good I'm gonna feel afterwards. That's the thing with anxiety, is if I think about it too much, like, the anxiety is paralyzing for me. Like, it absolutely keeps me from doing things that I want to do. It's again why I want to get back into therapy with a therapist that knows how to help me through what I'm going through with the trauma specifically. You guys might be surprised to know that making phone calls are really hard for me. Talking on the phone, you know, that type of thing. Like, when I can sit here and talk to a camera and put it out for everybody to see on the internet, it's just terrorizing. Some situations, like waiting for somebody to call me back, is actually the worst, and that's what I'm dealing with right now. The people that are going to service my HVAC system, they happen to have an opening today, so they're going to call me whenever they can have time to send somebody out. Knowing that there's 2 calls that I'm supposed to get today, it's just very overwhelming, but I know that at the end of the day, I'm going to be so proud of myself for doing this. Come on, Kel, don't cry. All right, so I'm gonna go groom Benny, and I'm gonna take you guys on my journey today. And if you have anxiety or c-ptsd and you deal with this stuff, I know that you understand, and I hope that. So the battery died right as I was saying that. If you have c-ptsd or anxiety or anything like that, I'm sure you understand what I'm going through today, and I just want you to know that I'm rooting for you. I'm cheering for you. It's not an easy thing to deal with, and for me, it can be a roadblock to things and people that I want in my life. Feeling afraid to talk on the phone keeps me from, you know, developing connections that I want. It's a struggle. It's a daily struggle. There's a lot more to all of this that's more complex than I'm explaining it, but I just wanted to say, if you're going through it, you're not alone, and we can do this together. And as I'm being brave in my life today with this anxiety and c-ptsd, I'm going to encourage you to be brave in one thing today that your anxiety otherwise might have kept you from doing, or your PTSD, c-ptsd might have kept you from doing. c-ptsd is a different diagnosis than PTSD. It's not in the DSM, Right now, my diagnosis is a trauma disorder, but they call it complex PTSD because it is PTSD. The way it's different is that PTSD is where there's one specific trauma that triggered the PTSD, and complex PTSD is trauma that occurs over time. So it's repeated trauma or prolonged trauma that has occurred over time. I'm working on it. I'm work in progress. Let's get to this day.
You are not alone in this world. You are not alone. You are not alone in this world. You are not alone.